Hi, thanks for checking out another one of our videos here. This is just a going to be a little like show and tell video. This one, talk about it and what we had to do to it and to get it going. This is an Intellishock 20B. I think it's made over in Germany, or was, by some company over there, and they sold this here in the States through Premier One. Premier was their distributor. This was a store brand name and in-house brand that they used to make. Pretty good unit. Got it going again for the customer. We had a hard time with parts, so what we did was we retrofitted a different board in this thing to get it going. And real quick before I start getting into all that stuff about this unit, there are links in the description area below the video if you want to click on the drop down arrow box and then look us up. There's our links to our websites, fencerfixer.com. There's one website, information right there. And then we also work on cattle, livestock, weigh scales, and low bars and stuff like that, mostly for Gallagher and True Test, but there's other brands out there. Cattlescalerepair.com is a website for that. But we work on all brands and ages of electric fence boxes. I don't care how old it is. If it's 50, 60 years old or new, we'll take a look at it for you. We give free quotes, and we put 18-month warranties on the repairs that we do to a unit. So back to this one. We had to put a different board assembly inside this thing. And one thing about this it says 9 volt or 12 volt on there. And the 9 volt battery we're talking about is not like a standard little 9 volt battery. It wouldn't last hardly at all before it ran the battery down. But there is a dry cell, I think, so they're wet dry cell battery, I think is what they call it. It's a little 9 volt battery. They're kind of not super common here in the States. I mean, I think they're out there, but they're air activated. They're like kind of a one-shot deal. They're a little battery, I don't know, big square thing like this, about that tall, and they got this little piece of tape over it. Peel that tape off, and it's air activated. As soon as the air gets to it, it activates the battery and it starts running. But you can't recharge them back up. They'll last, about a season. They're pretty durable. They'll last probably about a season, depending on how long they sat on the shelf for at the store or whatever. But they'll last about a season, and then you have to swap them out for another one. But the lady that owns this one didn't use the 9 volt battery. She used a regular deep cycle. Oh no, like a little built-in little, 12 volt, 7 amp hour battery, something like that. So what she uses to run this inside a little battery box that this unit sits on top of, or next to it or whatever. So they had on this unit, on the original style, they had 2 buttons up here, like an on-off button and like a battery test button or whatever it was. And those buttons are built into the board on the old board, and that board got eaten up by ants. Got in there and messed it all up. So we pulled that board out there and got rid of it and put a different circuit board setup on the inside from a different model brand altogether. There's big holes right here, so we put this rubberized tape on there. It seals pretty good and it blocks off the openings. Also on the back of the unit, there was a little spot right here that the where your solar panel battery all plugged into, I believe. Well, all that's built onto the old board. Well, we got rid of that board, so that stuff's gone. So it's a big old hole right here. So we cover that up with that rubberized tape, and then they had an on-off switch on here. So what we did was the new board that's in there does not have a switch on the board. So we drilled a hole and put a toggle switch on there to turn it on and off with. And then we also, since that battery plug-in area on the back of the unit's gone, we drilled a hole, put a strain relief deal on there, and put a battery, a black and red cable, ran it through, tied it into one side of it into the switch. The other part went right to the switch or to the board directly, and the other side of the switch went back over to the board. We had to modify the case a little bit to get rid of some of the plastic that was in the way so the board would fit, and then we could close the case on it and everything. So we had to do that, which just took a pair of snips, and then we used a little Dremel type tool, rotary tool with a little cutting wheel on there, a little small cutting wheel, and buzzed out some of the plastic that was in the way. But it works great, and it's basically brand new on the inside. I think that they don't make this model anymore, but they do make a unit called the Intellishock 20. I never worked on one of those, but the look of it looks kind of on the cheaper side, and maybe it's reliable. Maybe it goes 10 years. I don't know, but the look of it looks kind of chintzy and cheap. So so the lady was real thrilled about getting this one going. It's basically brand new on the inside. Solar panel was fine. There's a little regulator on the solar panel that was putting out good volts. We're getting like 18 volts out of the thing. So we'll turn it on here. There's a light on the bottom here. It still works. That little circuit board down here, we kept it. It was a separate part from the main board, and it was still good. So we'll power it on here, and see it's putting out good voltage. We're getting 9,000 volts every time it clicks. And take the tester off here. We'll flip this over. It's gonna be hard to see in the camera because the glare. Maybe you can see it better now. But there's a little light down at the bottom that flashes. Doing this little job. And I got switch for up is on, down is off, like a standard normal light switch is. So, but it's working fine. It's the unit overall was old school electronics on the board. Did have some computery surface mount crap on there. But like I said, the bugs got in there and ruined the thing basically. So, and I had a hard time getting parts for it. So I just I asked the lady, what do you want me to do? You want to try to play around so you can fit another board in there that will work, or throw it away, buy a new one? What do you want to do? And she decided that she wanted to. We put this other board in there, and she gave the price of parts, labor, and shipping, and she was thrilled. And because the solar panel is still good, why throw the whole thing away? Just because the solar panel is good. You fix this, her battery's good, so this fixed energizer, reuse the panel and the battery, and hey, it's working good. You get a 1.5 year warranty on the repairs. I don't know how physically old this unit is. There's a serial number on there, but I don't know if they date coded it. I don't think it's that new. I think she's had it longer than that. I don't know if that's date code that thing or not, but she loved it. She said it does a good job. It pulls it. Those are pretty good spark out of it. Let me turn it back on here, and we'll get a piece of wire here somewhere, and we'll do a little spark jump across the fence and ground. We'll go. Which one's ground? I'm just kind of curious. That's one thing I don't like about it. Man, I think this is the ground, but the symbols on there are real hard to see. Yeah, this is ground, I believe. So we'll go ground to fence. Or well, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to touch one terminal and get really close to the second terminal. Pretty good pop for a little 12 volt unit. I wouldn't touch it. So we'll flip the switch off, and I don't know. That's basically it. I mean, it's a good little unit. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about their new ones. The Intellishock 20, I think is what they call that deal. And just looks kind of cheap. But I guess you can't really base everything on looks. But just from working on things and seeing what companies try to cut corners and not cut corners, but cut price. Try to save a little money here and there. Sometimes they'll save it on the electronics somewhere, and they'll save it on like plastic case. But sometimes when you save it on the plastic case, you use plastics doesn't cost that much to start with. And then when they kind of make it cheap there, do they make it cheap on the inside as well? Because if the plastic breaks, the electronics could break too. I don't know, but there's information right there. So if you like to send us something for a repair, we work on all brands and ages of these things. We give free quotes, like I was saying earlier, and 18-month warranty on the repair. So this unit is basically new inside here, and it's got a 1.5 year warranty on it. Like I said, the battery or the solar panel is good. She said her battery is probably fine too. She said she just replaced it she thought the issue was her battery, so she got a new battery, and of course I didn't fix it. And so our battery's not that old. So we'll fix this up for her. She can hook that 12 volt battery back up to it, mount everything back together like she's supposed to, and it should go working just fine. All right, well, that's basically it for now, and we'll get on to the next unit, and maybe we'll make a video on it. Maybe we won't. Depends on what it is, what we work on. We don't make videos on every single thing that we get in for repair, but we make videos on one here, one there, depending on what we're working on. and see what we got here. So until next time, we'll see you guys later on, and have a good day.